When we speak of wealth beyond imagination, two names echo across time: King Solomon of ancient Israel and Mansa Musa of medieval Mali. Both men commanded riches so vast that even today, their legacies remain unmatched. But who was truly the richest? Let us journey into their worlds. King Solomon, the Golden King of Israel. Solomon, son of King David, ruled Israel around the 10th century BCE. He is remembered not only for his wisdom, but for his breathtaking wealth and extravagant lifestyle. The Bible records that Solomon received 666 talents of gold every year. That is about 22 metric tons of gold annually. If valued at today's gold price, this equals over $1.5 billion every single year, just in gold, not counting silver, taxes, or trade revenues. But Solomon's wealth was not merely in numbers. He lived in splendor, building the magnificent Temple of Jerusalem, palaces filled with treasures, and cities fortified with riches. And then, there was his household. The Bible tells us Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. 1,000 women under his care, his palace buzzing with servants, banquets, and endless luxury. Feeding and housing such a royal court alone required wealth and organization on a scale that staggers the imagination. It was said that during Solomon's reign, silver was as common as stones in Jerusalem, and exotic treasures flowed from every corner of the ancient world. His wealth, his wisdom, and his reputation made him a king whose name became eternal in Scripture. Mansa Musa, the Emperor of Mali. But centuries later, in the 14th century, another ruler would astonish the world. His name was Mansa Musa, the Emperor of Mali, a land blessed with gold beyond measure. Mali controlled the goldfields of West Africa, at a time when gold was the foundation of global trade. Mansa Musa did not just own wealth, he was wealth itself. In 1324, Musa set out on a pilgrimage to Mecca, a journey that would etch his name into history. He traveled with a caravan of tens of thousands of people, soldiers, attendants, slaves, and officials. They carried supplies, food, and above all, gold. It is said that 100 camels each carried 136 kilograms of pure gold dust, alongside thousands of servants holding golden staffs. When Musa arrived in Cairo, his generosity stunned the city. He spent so lavishly, showering gold upon the poor and trading in the markets, that the value of gold plummeted. The Egyptian economy collapsed into inflation that lasted more than a decade. Modern economists estimate that on this single journey, Mansa Musa spent the equivalent of over $400 billion in today's value. This was not mere legend, his impact was recorded by Arab scholars, merchants, and even maps of the Middle Ages that depicted Mali as the land of gold. So, who was richer? Solomon. A king whose wealth is legendary, tied to sacred scripture and faith. Mansa Musa. An emperor whose riches shook the world, documented in history books and remembered to this day. Perhaps the answer lies not in who had more gold, but in what their wealth represented. For Solomon, wisdom and divine favor. For Musa, power, generosity, and the glory of Africa's golden age. The verdict: so, who was richer? King Solomon. A king whose yearly income was equivalent to billions, who built temples of glory, and who maintained a household of 1,000 women in unmatched royal splendor. Mansa Musa. An emperor whose single journey shifted the world's economy, whose gold flooded markets, and whose empire was the beating heart of global wealth. If Solomon's riches were legendary, Mansa Musa's were undeniable. Historians today rank Mansa Musa as the richest man in recorded history. But perhaps true wealth is more than gold. It is the legacy these men left behind. Solomon, the symbol of divine wisdom. Musa, the shining face of Africa's golden age. Two kings, two legacies, one remembered through faith, the other through history. Together, they remain the eternal giants of wealth. So next time you hear the question, who was the richest man of all time? Remember that history gives us Mansa Musa, and faith gives us King Solomon. Both remain timeless symbols of wealth beyond imagination. Stories like this remind us of the strength of Africa's past. If you believe the world should hear more, join us on Africo Multimedia, where culture lives and legends never die.